it is a best of 5, so there's always room for mousesports. If they do get maybe a good start here, they can get something going. And this is what I want to see. EnVyUs is getting on that T side, taking the fight, looking to basically dominate the pace of the way this game goes. So like, all right, we've got the upper hand here, you know what I mean? Like, we've got that confidence beside us, we've got the momentum, you know, all these lovely buzzwords we like to use. It's all with them at the moment. It's as simple as that for these guys. So, in my eyes, mousesports, this is your map. This is the one map you can do something on here now. You need your stars, though. They need Nico in a big way in this. They need everyone. Dennis, where's he been? Speedy as well. Oscar, you've got to be able to get that AWP going. Again, there's a lot to be seen here, and these guys have to bring that A game.
Well, at one point in the last map, Oscar was 6 for 18. Now, there was all this billing about, oh, it's going to be Kenny S versus Oscar. If we go off that, I mean, about 20 rounds ago, the coaches would have been throwing in the white towel. It would have been like, okay, this is over. You know, it's
too much.
You're starting to hurt him a bit too much, rush him to the hospital because it's been so one-sided. This is a map that Oscar is solid on. So if he doesn't perform here, something has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, and look at what mousesports have brought up here into the first round. Mollies, flashes, plenty of interesting stuff coming through. Molly already gone down towards B tunnels. This is a good read, actually, considering exactly where EnVyUs are. Apex is waiting, chomping at the bit to get into this one. It'll be Chris J to receive. He's already found his teammate, though. MBK's fallen. Apex doesn't make it towards the box. That's an error. He's trying to get into this, but the flashes are good here, actually, from mousesports. Now they just need to land the shots, and Chris J is doing just fine at that. The only man to reply so far is Kenny S, but Happy now, a million miles away, does come through the B tunnels, but that bomb is on B, and he's got 3 players to find.
Yeah, and the crossfire here is being set up by mousesports is really solid, and they're also sending, I believe that's Speedy into lower tunnels. So Happy, I mean, there is no way out of this round for him. It's going to have to come down to crazy Glock headshots you have to feel. And Speedy from the side with the timing peak. mousesports do claim the first pistol, but we saw this also on Cobblestone. I think we saw this on Cash too, and they lost both maps.
I'm not reading into anything before I see that final scoreline on this one, because EnVyUs, we've seen they can turn it around. As can mousesports, they can bring it back, but they haven't been able to close these maps out. And Kenny, going to be looking for the opener here, trying to...
Rip.
Welcome back, Oscar. It's been a little while since we've seen you hitting something like that, and there we go. Just going to remind Kenny S that, don't worry, if I get going, there could be some trouble ahead, but there's still a couple of deagles in this one. Happy's got a scout too, so it's okay. It'll be fine. They can readjust. But mousesports need everything here, just for their mental game to stay within this matchup. And MBK's got a bit of play, but it's going to be down to Oscar again to try and do something about it. Gets the info, can find a little bit more of a passive angle if he wants to, work back into it. And here comes a peek again, doesn't hit it. This is not great. It's allowed a little bit of a chance, but Nico there to babysit.
As ever, with the UMP, Oscar's going to land a second scout shot. Devil with the dig is going to put down Nico. What a shot that is onto Oscar, and not too far away from Speedy either, so he's doing damage. Another kill or two, and the CTs will be feeling that going through into the latter rounds, plus a bomb plant. So Devil's done a great job. Whatever happens from this point onwards, sure he dies, but well played, Devil.
Really nicely done. That's a really big start for him individually. You know, he overshadowed a plenty, but good stuff there from him. Those shots, not what I expect from him of all people, but yeah, really, really just going to bring that through. And the plant to boot as well. And they could have done something with that later into the rounds, but it does mean they'll get a really nice buy once they go back into it, but a little bit extra money into this one. And for mousesports, still a good buy. Pretty much decent buy as you're going to get. All rifles, apart from just maybe the scout with Oscar, but he proved that he can certainly use that one. And then some, not going to be too much at a disadvantage unless that deagle from MBK or something of the such comes just rolling right towards him. But the nade going to do lovely work.
80 damage. That's going to leave a mark.
Yep.
And you can see exactly what MBK's thought process is. Okay, I've been kind of wrecked. Kenny, you take over the deagle work. He peeks again, one stray bullet, and he's a dead man.
Exactly. Devil, he can see you there, mate. It doesn't work. If you're not staring at him, he can still see you. Now Apex might do the run boost out. They're actually just going to face off the back of a flash. And they can actually get a plant off this. I don't think anyone's actually on short just yet. This could be a safe plant for short. It is. mousesports, don't let them back in on this. This is meant to be a round. They're getting them low. Again, only Devil has armor here, so this shouldn't be winnable. This should be a clean retake, but Kenny still finds Oscar. Apex towards Nico, but advantage to mousesports here. They're cleaning up now, but a plant is still very good again.
Absolutely, it is. And Devil could still do some damage from this position. As you mentioned before, he does have the Kevlar, so he's going to absorb a few more bullets than usual, but there is Speedy headshot. EnVyUs will have a solid buy, though. With the last two bomb plants, Kenny S will be able to get his hands on an AWP and Kevlar, so impressive couple of eco rounds for Envy. But mousesports, it was so important they finally start a map at a decent advantage, and 3-0 is something to build off.
Yeah, that we haven't seen it really. There's not. I don't think there's been a single kind of clean way of seeing things go down. And did KS just opt to go for the rifle as well? There over the AWP. He can afford one if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he could have easily bought that.
6.6k. So I'm very surprised by that. But it may suggest that we're going to see more of a B-centric play, maybe a split through mid.
It looks like it, doesn't it? And that means Nico is the Guardian. He will be holding down this door, and NBK, what? How did he get away with that? He walked out there. Dennis is the one to actually punish him in the end, but just brazenly walking out of mid, are you mad? 4v3 now. EnVyUs with a disadvantage. Speedy wants to take it further towards Mouse's favor, but no one's left to decimate, and it's all down to Happy working through those B tunnels. He's got the bomb this time, which is going to be a lovely benefit. He can define this a little more. Molly goes down towards the window. Touch too deep, but actually Speedy has to respect it now. He can make something happen from this one. There's not many players who can, but Happy certainly is one of them. How can he do this? He's got a minute left, no flashes, not too much to play with. And now he's going to try to get them second guessing. Even if he goes back to B at this point, he'll probably pull maybe one player away. They have to keep some mind that he could have gone. He could have already gone through mid. Theoretically, that is. They might have heard something. And Dennis bearing in mind as well. He's got 4 kills so far. Possibly an ace here for him. Happy might go for the jump up towards the short box, but he's probably expecting someone's going to be watching this in some way, shape or form. So he's going to try and find an angle where he can do work. That's the start. Now it's on. He can get... There's no one here. Oh my word. Okay, so he's going to get the bomb plant, and it's retake time for the CTs. Happy again. Let's see how he plants this as well. Planting for long. All right. And they're both coming from short. If he just gambles it, if he takes a risk, it could have been big, but he spots one out on short now. Has to be careful, has to be mindful here, Metuz, but Oscar finally pulls his weight through this round.
Again, though, another bomb plant in a scenario where you feel EnVyUs is just going to fade away into obscurity. So they're keeping that economy ticking forward. Yes, they've got round loss bonus coming in too, but take nothing away from mousesports. That is another solid retake, another solid round. And they will take a 4-0, I should say, leads. There was an option for a double up on mousesports, but they're going to stick with the 1 for now. And now Kenny S finally will get himself the up in his hands.
Yep. Let's see how this one goes down. Doesn't get the tag on to the start, but gets the info on the cross. No, I don't think they use particularly many nades or anything to cross out of that one, so they get the info off the back of it. Spots out 2 there, and it looks like a default from EnVy. Just taking their time, reading the situation, having a look as to how they want to approach this one. No real rush. Apex clearing through lowers, making sure there's no one actively peeking towards short. Easily plenty of time for that mid to B smoke. They've got 4 smokes left with them, so there's plenty to use. They don't even have to go off the back of the first. And Dennis going pretty much ready for the flash through middle if they do try and do it, but they're going to take short control. So, again, the next problem is there's still Oscar here, and they're so aware of this being a possibility. You give him an inch, and he'll take a mile, going to back away, and a lovely bit of counter flashes there to buy him time to do so.
Yeah, absolutely on point. Allows them to get the frag for free, back away, and now a minute for EnVyUs to figure out where they should be poking in. Looks like we are going to see a catwalk play come to fruition. At least they're lining up a couple of smokes right now. There's the first one. Apex to be pop flashing off the wall.
Apex normally drops to CT when he does these sort of things, and there it is. Looks down to it, goes for it. There could have been a B split there, but they lost the player working through that mid door. Now Apex is just going to take the play. He expects them on long, and he finds Oscar. This is big. This is very big impact play coming through now. Spiddy's still on long. He can cost them a lot on this, but Apex is aware it's a possibility. He looked away at the wrong time, but he still comes back and does the work he intended to at the start. Now 3v2, I don't know how much mousesports can get back into this round.
Not looking good, is it? They have the economy to maybe throw caution to the wind and go for this clutch. Apex is low. No grenades in the hands of the terrorists now. Dennis is going to be coming around the corner. He's had a pretty solid Dust2 thus far. Spots the player, but Apex is too fast on the draw, leaving Chris J the horrendous task of clutching this. Is good for 1 kill, but EnVyUs finally get themselves on the board.
Impressive they actually got that, considering they lost out on the first frag. If you look through statistics alone of just how likely it is you're going to win a round after losing the first player, it is actually very tough to come back into. But then, they fell back into that default site hit that they like to do, where you drop down towards CT, work up the ramp a bit, and here we go. Nice bait play. Oscar's going to find Kenny S. That was just begging for it. The player crosses down lower. Oscar steps out at the higher angle and finds the pick towards Kenny after he takes the shot. Good stuff to get themselves an early advantage here for mousesports.
Oscar's already had more of an impact on this map than he did the entirety of Cobblestone. Like, he's been landing a bunch of impact frags, a bunch of opening picks too. So that may bode well for mousesports. Second frag comes in. It's going to go the way of Mouse again. This time it's Dennis. Catwalk play is imminent. They did get decent amount of success from this in the last round. Apex taking point. Let's see if he drops down into CT again. Yes, he will. It'll be into the eyes of Chris J. Gets the upper hand on that spray. Nico now going to be peeking, but EnVyUs pick up 2 kills back-to-back. Oscar's going to try and redeem this situation, and down goes Apex.
So, down to Happy and MBK. Bomb is in MBK's hands. He's a little low, but he can do the job that he's required to do. It's down to Happy to keep this one in check, though. So, Dennis, currently in CT. You've got a player by Cat, which is going to be Oscar, and one on long, which is Spitty. Now, surely you've got to keep in mind, Spitty's alive, he's probably on long. That's where he plays. That's his default standard beginning position in this one. So again, that's why Happy's still watching this. They have no info on this CT side retake, and there's a player just below him. Has to crouch down, Happy. Got to be careful. Dennis might be the tasty bit of bait here, but it's just down to Happy now. 1v3, and he's being encroached on from every single side. The round's going to come in, but no kit here. So again, quite close on the timing then.
Very much so. They will have this, of course, but yet another bomb plan. I'd be quite curious if we could bring up the scoreboard there. How many rounds EnVyUs have lost but planted on? So you can see there, they've lost 5 rounds, but 4 of them have forced the defuse from the CTs. So that's pretty impressive, all things considered. But at some point, of course, they're going to have to convert the plans into rounds.
Well, the thing is, they're losing out on the first man so often, and they fall back to their, all right, we hit A, which is really, really good. If they can get to that point, if they can maybe keep a man back by long, for example, or do something a little different to keep some advantage early game, then you might see them actually just converting it to a full round win. But this could be different. We've got, let's see what we've got brought up here, actually. So 3 smokes, Devil, NBK, and Apex with them. This could just be a slow play. It could be something else. It might be just a flat-out B hit. But at the moment, no massive commitment to yet just rushing. Dennis has got himself an angle, which is kind of scary, especially with that many Tech 9s. And I'm not sure they're going to sense that being an underhand throw or expect it. But here comes the push, and Dennis plays it safe. He hasn't moved a muscle. Players left, right, center. They might have hurt him, but they line up for him. Dennis finds 2, but he can't find the 3rd. But the support is there. And I say support, it's Nico. He's far more than that. He does get the remainders. And mousesports take a stride in the right direction.
And Dennis cleans up, but there was an MVP nade that fired in before that. It did, I think, towards maybe 150, 200 damage. It landed on everyone. It was brutal. The artillery barrage was real. And now EnVyUs will be into pistols and not much else. So now mousesports, this is the best start we've seen on any map for them thus far. Yes, they got into overtime on the first one, but that was after a bit of a rocky start. So surely this is their moment to shine.
You'd hope so. You really would for these guys. They need something. And do you know what? I would love to see Mirage between these two, which would be the next map following if mousesports pick this one up. And that's getting ahead of myself here. It is 6-1. All right, I'll calm it down. But I'm a huge fan of getting to watch these two play on that map. And this looks just like a play-up cat off the back of a couple of flashes. And I say just a play-up cat. Actually, they got the first. Nico goes down, and now Oscar's in a bit of a predicament. He's got to back away and quickly. Can't afford to go down here, so it's retake time again for the CTs. This should be comfortable, though. There's only pistols against them, 1 piece of armor on towards Happy, and they've got all the utility in the world to play this one back with.
Oscar actually zooms out at the worst possible moment, but Chris J is there. Alongside Devil, who very unfortunate not to get that kill. Looked like he landed a whole bunch of bullets, but it's going to go the way of mousesports. And surprise, surprise, the bomb was planted yet again.
To be fair, though, mousesports are almost playing this as retake. Let's be real. They're not actively playing anyone on Cat. They may have Oscar peek it occasionally at the start and then back off from it, maybe play by cars then. They're saying, okay, you can keep getting these plants. We can keep winning these rounds. EnVyUs needs to be the one to change things, but then it gets frustrating. It's like, but we keep getting the site. It's very hard to self-reflect. You're like, we feel we're getting halfway there, and then something else is going wrong, but maybe they need to switch something up here. Kenny going straight towards that suicide peak, and this is a little bit dangerous, but it's where Oscar's been peaking, to be fair, on the higher side of it. That's why he's looking at this angle. It's, again, just a bit of a read into this, but aggression on Cat this time, a bit of a flip up here for mousesports, switching things around. Oscar watching lower, Nico towards top mid. He's seen that flash come out. He wants to take this angle, and here it is. MBK falls, and he knows there's pressure from the back, but he can't deal with Happy.
It's such a risky play, though. You must know that if you have no control over lower tunnels, there's a very high chance you'll get fragged on the retreat. And yes, Nico does do something out of the ordinary, does get rewarded with a frag, but now his team is trailing by a player and feel pressured to get info. Happy will be checking the corner. He's so careful in these kind of positions. He never will walk straight past. And now mousesports up against it in 2-on-4. Chris J, nice flick shot. Happy will go down. And they must know at this point that it is going to be a B hit. There's no way that Happy pushes here in front of the rest of his team.
Now, Dennis can hear this. The flash was really good, though, from the T side to deny Dennis the peak, but he's going to take the... What a flash coming in from Chris J. Look what that just set up. 2 kills for Dennis, and now 1v1. Apex up against Chris J. The bomb is in hand. He's got 47 seconds. Flash over. He's got another to play with in a smoke, and Chris J is all but blind here. AWP as well to hand. Not ideal for these situations, but can he make it work? Apex, he's going hunting. He's going to hear it, and Chris J, what a play from him individually. That flash he set up for Dennis was absolutely sublime.
That was a 2v4. mousesports clutching that 2v4 is going to brutalize EnVyUs' economy. It's going to brutalize their confidence here on Dust2. And just as we thought this was going to be a clean sweep 3-0, mousesports have something else in mind. Beautiful work. Double AWP in play again. EnVyUs back to pistols. We've seen this so many times so far. mousesports opting for 3 players on A as opposed to anyone in mids.
EnVyUs just hoping for some aggression, early aggression, anything. Just give us a chance, give me something here. But I like this from mousesports. They're finally looking like the mousesports that we've been kind of singing the praises of in the last couple of months. It's been, you know, these guys are consistent. They've got those individuals who've been playing really well. We hadn't seen it at this tournament too much, especially today. But now, here comes the play down long. Speedy's in a bit of a predicament. He's got the support in the form of Oscar, but he's just baited Oscar out like, don't worry, I'll be there eventually. And now look what's happened. Completely and utterly just atrocious crossfire play off the back of each other then. And it's given so much room for Envy, and they're going to take it every single day that they can. If that's how you're going to give up the rounds, sure, that's fine for us. And now Chris J left in a dire predicament.
Has landed the first shot. He's been landing some real tasty AWP frag so far, but I mean, this is surely a bridge too far. Going for the cheeky jump shots. And it's only a matter of time before Kenny S got him on the cross. So 3 kills. This will be Dennis on 16 for 6. Was it you and me that were casting the major qualifiers when Dennis went absolutely ham? I think it was in G2.
Yeah.
And they like battered them 16-1 or 16-0 or something.
Yep. And it's rare you see Dennis get those moments, but when he does, it changes the whole dynamic of mousesports to me. I think it becomes such a weird team to play against. You don't know who's going to be the man at the forefront of it, but what a curious buy as well for mousesports. Very, very here, there, and everywhere. And Christian's just going to take matters into his own hands. And this is what he used to be known for, is that scouting aggression, just getting up into the face, doing things you don't expect. And Kenny's going to punish Oscar for this, but there's the follow-up. Chris J falls, and now it's all in the hands of Envy. But Dennis goes walkabouts, merely to be met by Devil in those lower B tunnels. But Nico does at least recover the AWP.
And the AWP in his hands is certainly a powerful adversary, so you can't necessarily write Mouse off just yet. Playing this one intelligently. Oh, they line up a 2 for 1. He could very well get a third. The bomb's dropped out on the side too. Nico is still on the prowl. He's still hungry for more frags. He's playing possible, answer the headshot. Devil goes down. And now Happy in a 1-on-2 must be scratching his head and like, what the hell just happened?
What an absolute beast. Nico, that was all Envy's. That was their round. It was in their pocket. And again, he's like, guys, I just got 2 for 1. How much more do I need to do? Speedy goes down, and now it's down to the 1v1. Him against Happy. Happy is not taking this utterly either. And Nico's waiting. Just on the verge of that smoke, waiting for Happy to walk in. He's got the bomb. He knows Happy has to go for this. And Nico... Oh my word, he gets it! Nico gets 4! Absolutely mental play. He just walks out. The last thing you'd ever expect someone to do.
What do you even say to that? Like, if you're EnVyUs, what's the return? You just go, oh God, this map's done. How do we come back from that? It's so embarrassing. Nico, what a play that is. Unbelievable. The way that he patiently also played around the box for Devil to miss out and actually have to reload, and then went to peek and landed the headshot. Beautiful counter-strike. And mousesports, who are looking like maybe that was the gateway for EnVyUs back into this map, has now just been pulled from underneath their feet.
Oh my word. You know what, moments like that just really do take you back. Gorgeous play. And then the best part is he still drops that whole pound to Oscar like, no mate, you see what I can do, just, you know, a little bit of that would be good. Oscar backs off towards cars and he's going to say, all right, I'll give it a try. Because Envy's, you know, they love to do this on these rounds, do that A hit. Molly it out, do the A hit off the back. I like that. I'm hoping they split up long, because they've often had to deal with Speedy late into these rounds, which has cost them a little bit of time getting the plant and holding that retake, so wouldn't be opposed to this. But they're working with far from ideal weapons.
Speedy's in such a good position here, but he's going to get flashbanged. Hasn't got enough time to turn around either, so perfect play by EnVyUs, but that's only half the struggle. Oscar, meanwhile, gets flashed, still lands the shot, still alive somehow. Finally picked up. I thought for a second he was going to get a second kill there, which would have been disgusting. But EnVyUs will be firm favourites to lock down this round. Happy goes jumping in midair, gets punished. But now it falls to Chris J with his M4. Bomb planted with 25 seconds left in the round. So EnVyUs now will be forcing Chris J away. I don't think the economy, I was about to say, I don't think the economy for mousesports is anywhere near where they'd like it to be. So this safe M4 would make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, it really would. So it's a long time to keep hold of it, but EnVy aren't going to be particularly chasing too much. They need the money as well. So they might be able to try and hunt out a couple, but for me, Chris J is just going to be trying to keep this as safe as he can for as long as he can. Should be fine. Shouldn't be found by the time that bomb goes off, but finally EnVy get one on the board, and I'm glad they've started to maybe find a bit of a different way to approach the A site. Now they've got a bit of money to kind of do so. I'm hoping we get to see that more often now. But as said, this is very much a mousesports map so far. They've looked very, very good, to say the absolute least. 9-3 is a brilliant start. Now, okay, 3 of those rounds, sure, were the pistol, but they've absolutely hammered it through in a lot of these gun rounds. Close as they may have been, they've been winning them. But look at the money situation for mousesports outside of just Chris J.
Well, the mad thing is, if you were just joining this game and you heard it was 2-0, you probably assume mousesports were 2-0 the way they've been playing. You have no idea that EnVyUs have been ruling this best of 5 so far. Chris J with the aggression. This is why saving that M4 is so important. They're not able to get their hands on the AK just yet. They're dropped up. And Chris J will get plucked out. Devil with a frag, looking for a second one. There we go. Nico did land the headshot, but that's not enough. And Speedy falls down. So EnVyUs now trying to salvage this half. And again, it's similar to what we said also on Cobblestone. If you can get 5 or 6 rounds on Dust2, it's kind of job done on the T side. It's not too bad.
Now, let's actually have a quick check of the scoreboard as well, because it's quite strange to see Nico not particularly near the top, considering he had that incredible round where he, almost, was it an ace or a 4K? You take that away, he's not actually been having much of an impact. It's been Chris J and Dennis, of all people. So a very unique combination, very rare combination you actually see happening with Mouse here. I'll have to see if that continues later into this one, but their money's still not great, but enough that they can scrape together this kind of shoddy-ish buy. Or is EnVy in a perfect position, but Oscar proves me wrong. There it is, MBK and Happy fall. And that's the bomb in his hands. Now, he doesn't have armor. One issue with this. Kenny spots him out, goes back in. Nice shot from Kenny, but it is just Kenny now. 1v3. This has been an absolute mare of a round for EnVy.
You can't be serious, EnVyUs. This was a chance. Just pushing up mid with a P250. 2 kills. Kenny has been a shining light for EnVyUs throughout these maps, but this is a task maybe too far. Still peering into mid. It's unlikely mousesports are going to give anything away at this point. They've got a decent enough setup. Chris J is actually on the back of the A site with the scout. Kenny S now moving up, is checking every corner. But the positions from the CTs here are pretty much perfect. And now Dennis, the timing on that peak.
Dennis didn't see him, surely.
No, I don't think he did.
And these are the rounds that, if you know mousesports, these are the ones they'll do something stupid in, and some... He didn't see him. Kenny has been able to get past 3, but it's Speedy with a 6 shot with the deagle. I don't know how he got that far, if I'm honest. Like, that's just kind of unnerving that he was able to kind of sneak his way through that far, but sometimes mousesports can be their own biggest enemies in those rounds. For some reason, it just seems to slip away from them, but no, they keep that to hand, and now they get a nice buy. Double AWP as well. Oscar, Chris J on those, and Speedy just bought an extra scout because he wanted to. Just leaves it in the ground. It's the last round, why not anyway? But yeah, EnVy's got a good buy. I want to see what they bring into this one.
Well, right off the bat, not a great deal of aggression, as expected. And that's been a pretty big difference between their T half on Cobblestone as opposed to Dust2. They've been much more slow, lethargic, methodical, if you will. And mousesports have been picking them to pieces on these double AWP rounds. Oscar, I think it's safe to say he is definitely woken up. But if we do go through onto Mirage, which I agree with you, that's going to be a fantastic map of CS. Yep. If we do, is Oscar going to show up there too, is the big question.
It's going to be a huge factor coming through this game. Now, EnVy's kept a lot of their utility for a set play if they want to do it. They have options of playing. They've already got, catwalk control, not up towards the site, not that far, of course. That'll be when Oscar comes in towards the equation. But they're in this position, and actually, good timing on that flash there. It will set off the play, and it's going to be a bit of a split coming through here. Chris J's been sold a bit of a kipper, spotting out Apex, but that's not quite where they're committing. But actually, they're winning out with these orbs. They're just picking apart EnVyUs. They've tried to go for a bit of a split play, trying to sell them this was going to be a bit of an A hit, but actually they're going through mid. It doesn't matter. mousesports met them on every step of the way, and an 11-4 half is something we haven't seen yet from mousesports. Being this strong and looking this well-rounded is a rarity. Dennis having a massive impact in that game.
Some people, if you really get on them and you're hammering home that like you're sucking right now, let's be real, you are sucking like Oscar was. Sometimes it gives them the kick up the backside they need, but to some people that can actually push them over the edge even further. Yep. And they just go completely invisible and completely absent. So it's very nice to see that mousesports have rose to the occasion here on Dust2, but map 3 is about to get into the second half with EnVyUs on the CT side.
Here we go. mousesports, you want to get this pistol. Just deny Envy a chance to even consider building back. KennyS looking for chances on towards short. He's spotted them all out and he's sticking around. He might as well. He can't back away from it. So he does find one. He sets up the others. Devil now on the hunt, right on their heels. Nico doesn't know what's right behind him, and now he'll find out. And this should be all but done, but no, Devil can't quite do the job. And now ChrisJ turns around right into the angle the Devil was holding, and now the bomb is lost. And Spiddy, well, he's still working on long.
Yeah, slow as you like. Oh, hello. Apex gets railed by the Glock. USP has been picked up, and this does give Speedy a couple more options, but then he switches to his flash and will get decimated. So from a neutral's perspective, that's what I really wanted to see. EnVyUs picking up the second pistol and making this map very much more interesting. I feel if mousesports win that, they could just kind of glide to a victory, but EnVyUs in with 2 MP9s, a map like Dust, 3 MP9s. So expect to see them very much close angles, not giving anything away.
Oh, Nico did have a really nice spawn for long then. I was kind of hoping he'd just go for it, but you can see why he didn't. The nades are certainly there, and Apex wanted to get up close. SMG's just looking to really bolster their money as fast as they can. Dennis, though, going to look for the challenge and gets caught up on the smoke and just gives Apex and Kenny the chance to make that money. Happy wants a bit of it himself, and he's going to find it in ChrisJ. Again, just kind of out on his own. Nice work towards Devil. That's pretty impressive, if I'm honest. At least finds one here. Bomb is recoverable to some degree, but there's a man in between him and picking up. That was Happy. He's now gone, and now, okay, Kenny keeps it in check. I started to get a little bit nervous. I was like, okay, it's starting to get a little bit close for comfort, but they keep it together. mousesports now should just go through the motions on this one. You don't need to buy up too much. You might as well just leave it out. Just maybe get a flash, P250, whatever you feel like. Try and make something happen. But at the moment, Envy in a really good position here, just building back into this game.
Absolutely. It's also interesting to me as well to see how different teams approach the round after winning the pistol. We saw mousesports go for a scout instantly, whereas EnVyUs wanted no part of the scout. I think it just goes to show that KennyS isn't quite as comfortable with the scout as he is with the AWP. But either way, he is on the site by himself, hopping up and down, just gets a bit of information. That nade just brutalizes everybody. Goes for the spray down with the MP9 alongside Apex, and 4 players fall in as many seconds. Nico now up with the Glock. Good luck, sir. Rip. I mean, it's pretty fitting he gets naded to the forehead to finish the round off, but EnVyUs have started this half incredibly solidly.
That's a little bit worrying.
Double ops, hello.
Straight away going to the double AWP. And NBK? Are you doing this? NBK used to be an AWPer so long ago, yeah. But it's a long time ago. Let's not mistake how long ago that was. But okay, nade on the cross, goes for it, and Oscar reminds him he's not an AWPer right now. And now it's just one man holding that B side. It's going to be Devil pretty much all alone, and they don't actually push off this yet. mousesports hits the brakes. Maybe look and see if EnVyUs are looking for aggression elsewhere on the map to try and punish that first.
There's also a fantastic counter flash, which I think is what stopped them originally. Devil threw one as one landed to his face as well. So they weren't sure. For all they know, there's an extra couple of players with the crossfire down. You just do not want to risk that. You've got the pick. There's no point rushing through and trying to force the issue. This does allow EnVyUs now the chance, though, to get some picks of their own with this double AWP setup. Devil's picked up the second one, but the primary AWPer of KennyS, it has gone down alongside Apex. This is looking fantastic. mousesports reclaiming some control.
Brilliant approach to this round from mousesports. Not just straight up committing to B, hitting the brakes, looking for ways to further take their advantage throughout it, and they have. Devil's at least got one back, but it's a bit of a thin silver lining at this point. Nice flashes in towards B, but ChrisJ can turn them. Sprays down well, finds him, and now just Happy. 1v3, and he only has the MP9 to hand at the moment. There are guns around, so he can upgrade that. There you go, finds the AK, spots out ChrisJ, can't land the shot through the doors. Nade out just in case he got close. And I don't see this one being too possible for him, especially when Nico is here. Just presents him the rear, and it's an easy pickup there for Nico. And mousesports look a little better off. Maybe a little bit of sweat that was building on their brow, going, oh no, they've got the pistol. Don't do it. Get to put it back in line. 12-7 now. Envy still able to buy, though. They did have a couple of those leftover SMGs from the previous round, and now we're back into it.
And now collectively they only have about $600 between their entire team. So this is a pretty big moment, and that smoke though. Bounces off the pole, goes back into the T-spawn, why not?
That's actually a bit of a problem, considering there's a lot of tunnel players now have to be kind of careful in mid. This might need to be dealt with at some point, or they can just try and work around it in another way. They might have to be additionally cautious of shorts or on your peeking over. For now, they just play a little bit slower, see if there's anything being shown or anywhere they can hear information, gather something. So far, they've cleared out the B tunnels, kind of congregated in mid, and this could be a mid to B play. That could play in the likes of Happy pretty well. They're going for like a 2-on-2 here on EnVyUs, so again, this slow walk middle could work out very well, but they've got a good idea this might be coming. Here we go, the first shot rattles off, and Happy now wants to get into the action. The flash did catch him as well, and now he's in a bit of a pickle. He does manage to just smoke himself out of the molly, and he'll be fine. He can back off from that, but mousesports now looking for other options. They've certainly given up a little bit of that initial, I guess, play that they could have gone for, that quick hit towards mid. Not going to go for that now. They've got 48 seconds. Still lots to play with, though.
It's a strategy that they actually did a lot yesterday against Godsent, and it was Flusher that was in the position that Happy's in right now, and he couldn't deal with it. They kept pushing mid over and over and over again. But Happy, just playing more passively, has stopped the push. 30 seconds left. It's going to be a two-pronged attack onto A, with the bulk of the players coming through onto long. Apex so nearly pulls off a miraculous double frag. While flashbang, but now it's up to Happy on the side. There's one. Kenny S.
Oh my
God. With a second, and he's looking for a third. The flick is on point, and Chris J gets obliterated.
Normally, when you see an AWPer doing that on that position, it's someone like Guardian just doing that crazy turret-style shooting, and Kenny is showing he can do it just as well. This is the first big display from him in this map, I guess, we've seen at the moment. You know, you look back at the others, he's been perfectly fine. This was a really, really sick round, and that's just cut down mousesports right at the knees. They're back down to upgraded pistols and not much more, so EnVyUs needed that, and Kenny is providing what they really required, which was a nice individual performance. Again, though, they did weather the storm at mid, which is something that certainly assisted in that kind of play, but now Kenny's got to be careful. They don't want to be kind of caught out here. That one flash in Speedy's hands looks like it's going to set up maybe that play, and it is. So the flash goes out, and Kenny is just lining them up, not quite knocking them down so quickly. There's the follow-up. Oscar gets punished, and oh, Nico, hello. All right, the Deagle's back out. I didn't see that one. I almost wrote this round off.
Well, Nico got 1 kill and dropped Happy down to 12. If Happy keeps jumping up there, he will be picked off courtesy of Speedy, so play passive. In the meanwhile, Devil's been tagged in mid. This round is getting interesting. Speedy is going to go down, so Apex will drop him. And now Devil with the 4 health on B could be seeing action fairly shortly. Chris J will be waiting just outside the flames. Now going to be looking to push. Devil will be peeking in there. The Tech-9 is rattling out, but Devil will get the upper hand. That's pretty good news with EnVyUs as well. It means they save an extra assault rifle and build that economy up a little bit more.
Well, we know how punishing it can be on the CT side.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard to even make things happen with pistols on the CT side. Even if it's the current iteration of CSGO as it is, it's still so tricky. Many other maps you can kind of build things in towards and try and make plays happen, but this is specifically very hard. But Nico, the great spawn towards long, gonna take it, gotta be careful though. He's kind of pinned into this one. He does manage to back away. The molly didn't quite pressure him as maybe EnVyUs would have hoped, but still, very active play from Apex here on long. Gotta be careful. Nico's watching this angle.
He is, and he has the kind of reactions that could definitely punish Apex if he peeks one too many times. Oh, no!
What? Dennis
runs in front of him as he shoots the AWP. A third of the health disappears. Could have been a whole lot worse, of course, but you hate to see it. Unfortunate, really.
It is. 64 HP, not ideal, but it's not the worst that could have happened. And again, this might be Happy getting questioned here if they tried to do those mid plays, pressure them a little bit. There's no presence from upper B tunnel, so again, Devil can be fully supportive of this. He knows that NBK's got his back here. And I'm kind of hoping Chris J can at least keep some attention drawn towards B so they can get a chance towards middle. And Oscar, that's the opportunity you have to take, and now Happy gets played in. Nico gets punished for Oscar's mistake there. Happy gets flashed out again. And really, mousesports are reeling here. They're going to struggle to find a way in. 45 seconds, they've still got some flashes and smokes, but where do you take yourself at this point?
That is the question that's going to be going through the mind of mousesports at this very moment. And EnVyUs is going to be trying to figure out what they come up with. 30 seconds just over remain in the round. MBK, who is bottom fragging his woes, goes for the peak and gives his life away. There's a beautiful shot from Oscar in mid. 2-on-3. And the answers came in that B is the site that they should be aggressing on. Apex is going to be taking the long trek all the way around. Kenny S waiting in mid. The bomb will get planted in the next few moments, so EnVyUs will be on to the retake. Or
I think
not.
It's save time, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to save.
Little disappointed that MBK actually went in on that. I'm not sure
if
that was as necessary as he thought it was. I think you still get very itchy. You obviously want to get the information from B to find out if they're pushing, but was him staying alive, holding a bit more of a passive angle, a little bit more worthwhile? Of course, hindsight 2020 and all, but a little bit of a shame that left the B side open and very, very vulnerable after what was actually a very good start for them. Picking up on towards Nico, of course, being what I'm discussing. But yeah, mousesports finally break back in after a bit of a trend where it wasn't looking so hot for them for a little while, but Apex looking to make it costly. He does exactly that. Lovely work from him, and the follow-up. Tries to get any more, looking for it, not going to see anyone else. He's going to stay alive, and he does get to keep his gun. And actually taking those 2 guns away has cost mousesports a really good buy here. They might have to be careful on what they reinvest to.
They won't have an AWP, so that is actually a huge passage of play, and one that will allow EnVyUs the very much advantage of having an AWP for themselves. So KennyS has it on his side. Apex playing fast up long with the flash and the incendiary, but no one's home from mousesports. In fact, they're actually on a Tech 9 and a Galil as a result, just to get a bit more utility. So Apex's double spray down could very well set up this round nicely for the Frenchman.
It could. We'll see if it does. mousesports. This time they get the smoke towards Cat. Pretty right. Go onto that Xbox. And now they're playing straight up. So, who's watching this on first contact? I don't think anyone is, actually. You've still got KennyS on long, so got to be careful on the timing of this. They're trying to sell it as a mid to B a little bit here. They could drop to CT if they want to, but Kenny has to be careful. He's seeing what's coming here. This is a full A hit coming out from mousesports. Nico's taking a little bit of damage, but KennyS can't see a darn thing. He's completely flashed up, has to back away. Happy does win out in mid at least. That's one silver lining. And all of the mousesports players are here on the site, and what a flash comes in. Apex set up for an absolute blinder, finds 2, leaving the mere 2 remainers looking a little worse for wear. He's going to make it hurt even more. Wow, just Chris J left. And this is surely a round for EnVyUs.
KennyS's flashes, the MVPs. Both of them set Apex up for the double spray down. That was beautiful teamwork, because that was looking like the bomb was actually stopped the bomb getting planted, which would have then put more pressure on the side of EnVyUs for the retake. See, Apex, again, was a player of the match in the previous map, and he is now top fragging on this one too.
And it's quite rare you see such a combination of players. KennyS and Apex actually play off each other so much. Normally Apex is the guy who will kind of peek in to allow Kenny to get the shot, you know what I mean? He'll be the one to bait out the angle almost, whereas normally it's the riflers who get the kind of really robust duo who work well off each other. But actually these two as a combination have been playing very, very well off each other recently, and you're seeing it more and more, especially in those sort of rounds where they know how each other likes to play, flash in for them, let them build off the back of it. But into this one, mousesports' money is gone. We said what the impact of a couple of those kills were earlier. We're certainly seeing it in full effect here. Now, again, Envy aren't exactly completely robust on money. They're still in, you know, some issues. So it looks like Kenny's going to be pretty much setting up Apex. Apex is going to probably play off the back of contact if needed. He's just kind of sitting. I guess is he playing anti-flash at long? I can't actually see if he's... Yeah, so he's just seeing anti-flash at long. In case they try and just pour out, he can just turn around and just kill them all off the back of the contact with KennyS. So his life is just in the hands of Kenny.
Very capable hands.
Capable, of course.
KennyS.
Yes.
But the bomb on the other side of the map. Ooh, Nico did spot a pixel, and I thought he was going to convert it into a headshot, which would have been pretty tasty. But instead, he will die happy with a peek up mid. Very much a timing peak after that first encounter. Should be getting the better of Speedy. There we go. Headshots him down, and EnVyUs looking for a flawless anti-eco rounds. Chris J's Deagle may have something to say about that, though.
Well, he's picked up Nico's Deagle, which we know can do work. Didn't know how to activate it properly, so MBK will find him. And the scoreline's getting a little bit unnerving now. This is what we said at the start. It's like we don't want to read into this until, you know, that final round falls into place.
Yep.
Why? Because of this. Because that slow grind back from EnVyUs. And I say slow, Apex and Kenny, the combination I was just talking about, having an absolutely phenomenal start to this half, but it looks like already mousesports going back in on the Tech 9, sort of buy a bit of armor, bit of smokes here and there. They can get something going on this one. But it does mean they have to get past Happy if they want to play to mid. They have to get past Devil, and then MBK. It's a very tough one to crack here actually at the moment. Envy's CT side is looking okay actually.
Yeah, this half bar could very well get up into the face of B, which is exactly what they're setting up for. But that flashback is perfect from Happy. He's going to get 2 kills, nearly a third. But that right there should hold off this B play from being successful. There's still 2 players for the CTs on here, one of which is Devil, the other is MBK. And in 2 rounds, they've only lost the 1 player. EnVyUs were 11-4 behind at the start of this half. This half has gone 2-8 against mousesports now.
Oh, lordy. It's one of those, isn't it? And I actually like that play from Devil, pushing up towards the B tunnels a little bit to allow MBK to have complete vision towards the push through at the window, so he didn't have to worry about it. Oscar, glass cannon pretty much at this point. He does have a smoke and a flash, but no armor to support him. And look at Kenny. This is the confidence. This is the Kenny S you miss seeing. Desperate to get these fights, but he's got Nico, the raid boss, against him, who will look for this angle. You'll always peek it. You have to peek it any second. Now, Kenny, he's faster on it as well. Finds Nico. That is devastating. And now maybe mousesports looking for a way back into it, knowing that Kenny S isn't on A. Maybe there's an aspect that they can work with here, but it's not looking likely. As already he's back, going to get himself over towards A, look for opportunities, find ways around it. Because this time, Happy's playing by Goose, so again, mid's a little bit more vulnerable. T-side doesn't know that, though.
Kenny S throwing the incendiary, so it allows him to reposition back towards the car. Want to make sure they get caught in transition there, because Happy is going to be waiting on Goose. A setup that honestly will favor the CTs if this A hit comes in, which you assume it's going to, or not. They're actually pushing a player out in mid. This could be a bit of a fake. You can see the flashbang and the smoke being tossed out from mid from Dennis, and here comes the actual execute. It's going to be onto A. This is where the pop flash from Happy could be a real hindrance for the terrorists. They've dropped one player down below, but Kenny S is going to deal with the first one. Nearly the second. Chris J, though, will get the upper hand with the Galil, and now it's all on Happy. He could be an integral part. He's going to stop the bomb plant. They don't even check this. They weren't expecting a triple man stack. And in doing so, Dennis is now all alone.
It's the first time he's played that position. He hasn't been there before, and they don't expect it. They don't check it. He stops the plant. He gets around. It's 13-13, and there is the pause. Not surprising at this point. If you're mousesports, you can only sit there and run off the previous work of the last half for so long. You've got to sit there and go, okay, we've lost a lot of rounds here. What is going on with this? If you're mousesports, you've got to be pretty gutted. You had the perfect way to get back into this game on the first half. You had it all. You had, the brilliant start. You even looked like, okay, we didn't win the pistol in the second half. That's fine. We can get in the gun rounds. Then it didn't happen. And now Kenny S has become the beast we know he can. Apex, massive impact. And then you look at the three players who've been holding B. Happy kind of playing towards a little bit more mid, of course. But then Devil and MBK playing off really good off of each other. This is scary for mousesports. I don't know how they build back into this, because Nico is not being the Nico that they need in this situation. But this is the thing, I hate saying that, because how much can you really ask one man to always do? It's like, hey Nico, do you mind dropping another 30 in this game? You know what I mean? It's almost too much to ask of one person.
Well, he's so good, there's that level of expectation.
Yeah.
And when he doesn't deliver on it, you're disappointed. But then you have to take into consideration there's really no one else that consistently puts out the frags he does. No. So when he's on the 13 for 21, it's really jarring, even though everyone else in his team has taken turns of doing the exact same thing over this event. Dennis is still at the top of the scoreboard, but the worrying thing for mousesports is they've called this timeout, but this round is going to be no more than Tech9 armors, if that. So
yep.
It's really for the next one when you assume that EnVyUs will have a round lead. I mean, they have nearly full round loss bonus coming up. So if they go for Tech9s, they'll have a solid buy in the next one. But EnVyUs, back from the 11-4 deficit at half-time, are very close to taking the leads. And it would be for the first time in this entire matchup.
And I'm going to say it now. For EnVyUs, they needed this tournament under their belt, because they have been having absolutely diabolical results to their standard as of late. You've looked at them and gone, what? Where's that big Envy presence gone? The changing of roles. You can ask Apex it every single time in interviews, because it's certainly a talking point at the moment, is they just didn't look like themselves. They were trying to switch things up. They've gone back to basics. Now, at the moment, it looks good. I don't know if it's hard to judge where Mouse is right now, because we haven't got other top tier teams to kind of counterbalance that against. You can go, well, in their first matchup, Envy looked really good as well. They didn't look as good, because you don't know where Epsilon stand in the bigger things. But if you had more tier teams you could look at, you could maybe find where they stand overall. But for now, all we know is Envy has brought back this CT side pretty drastically. We're underway, and mousesports, you better have worked something out, because right now it is not going well, and Apex is about to get challenged.
It's a challenge that he's accepted and excelled at. He actually didn't get either of the kills, but he did a lot of damage to both of them, and more importantly, stayed alive. Didn't give his M4 away, didn't give long up. And now mousesports, very disjointed. I mean, you often don't see an attack like this after a pause. When you consider that 2 players rush out, and it took a while before Catwalk was even in position, so they just get picked off. The players from Long, who are dealing with Long from the CT's perspective, can now just rotate themselves around and have the crossfire set up on short. And it's just a total blowout. But it's really this next round, I think, was what that pause was called for. This is the moment now.
Well, it has to be the moment. It'll be EnVyUs getting towards 15. You can't allow them to do that. You can't allow these guys to come back into this. It is heartbreaking for mousesports, I can imagine. Their heads are just probably not in the game at the moment, but they need to get them back into it. They need to focus up. This is the biggest round they're going to be playing in this game at the moment. So for them, it's pretty much do or die time. And let's see what they go for into this. Massive presence towards B early on, but look at Long. I'm wondering if they're going to go walkabouts here. They've seen no flashes, they've seen nothing to show presence towards Long, but it's such a risk to walk out to it because it's so likely someone might be lurking. And while this happens, mid is being pressured. So this might encourage the players along to push eventually, but for now, it's going to be down to Happy, it's going to be down to Devil to make sure they pick it up. This is going to be incredibly tough here. So Happy, what can you do to hold this one down?
Devil playing Possum, the other side of the smoke. He's actually going to try and push this one, but he's going to get tagged down to 6. Meanwhile, MBK on the back boxes is going to put down the frag alongside Devil, but Devil has fallen. And now MBK has it all to do, runs out of bullets and life. But again, look at this very fast rotation. It's going to be Apex who's coming up from behind. And Chris J may very well deal with him. This angle's not what you're expecting. Headshot onto Happy. And now Apex has got to pull a rabbit out the hat. It's not going to happen. Kenny S next to fall, 14-14. mousesports showing true grit and determination to keep themselves on this map.
They've lived to fight another round. 14-14. I said the last one was important. Well, welcome back to the game, mousesports. You're back under pressure, and look what MBK's got in hands. Okay. Now, I know he can use it, that's the thing. He's one of the big advocates for picking this sort of thing up. It actually might free up Devil even more to support mid, yes. So he can just kind of more focus directly towards those B tunnels and say, all right, well, you know, they've been pressuring this mid to B. Let me give you that freedom towards it. But for now, Kenny S is being toyed with. And that's a dangerous game to play, Dennis. You're having a good game, but you do not want to feed that man. Not
in the 29th round when there's so much on the line. Yeah, that auto sniper definitely will allow Devil to quickly wrap himself round into mid if he so chooses. And Happy now on a different angle. This time it's on the box. He was hoping that the smoke wouldn't be following. And he will get the free kill. And it's on to Nico. So pretty big scalp to claim. Devil's the next one out, but into a 3-man peak. Well, that is rough. Happy's the next player. He's going to get flashed out. Has to keep alive. It's really important they have some kind of mid control in this round. And now MBK's in trouble. They haven't had complete eyes towards mid. That's why Happy went almost over the step. But here is that auto sniper. He only gets one. Oscar, the only man to fall to it. Chris J fought through it. But down to a 2v2. Kenny S is not going to let this one go. But look where Speedy is. Right amongst that smoke. Kenny doesn't know it. They've got a good idea maybe. He can maybe consider this could be an option. And they have to get past him. He's the first port of call. And they get it done. Now it's just Chris J to keep mousesports in for a chance of winning this in regular time. 1v2, one molly to hand, 38 HP, and Kenny S and Apex to challenge him down. This might be the biggest round for him, and it's not going to happen. Apex is there, and this looks like the comeback is certainly on, and EnVyUs are very much getting themselves on towards match point. mousesports economy is going to be in such a rough place. Nico's on 2.3k. They've got 5k on Oscar, nearly 5k on Speedy, but the other two mid-3000s. Oh, this is going to be a huge task for mousesports to bring themselves back into another overtime. They're going to have to go for multiple glass cannon players here. Good start, though. MBK getting tagged up is really, really good. They don't know how much that might do, but they might have an idea. Like, I might have tagged him? I don't know. So, again, this could maybe open up chances towards that B site. Maybe. But, again, 14-15. mousesports have to take this to overtime and win. EnVy just need one more round, and it's theirs. It all comes down to this round at the moment. 1 minute and 20 seconds left. You can see the hesitation, the caution being shown by mousesports, because this is what it comes down to. Sure does. You can see as well from MBK's perspective, he's going to be playing more of a passive role, not behind the boxes, as a result of being so low. One bullet and he's dead, and it's very important he stays alive. And meanwhile, Happy now using a different angle. This time it's close next to the doors. I like this. He's been up on the boxes on the right side, on the left side, down below. Solid position assumed, but mousesports still giving nothing away. MBK still watching it. He also has Devil to his right-hand side. A similar position we saw Dennis get a few frags from earlier in the alcove. 40 seconds left. mousesports still haven't done too much in this round. They're going to have to start to get a move on now. Happy could change all of this right here, right now. You said it's a new position, but they're not going mid. They're slow walking to B. It's Devil and MBK.
Here we go, MBK gets the first. Chris J falls, he spams the box, but now it's down to Devil. Will they check this? Dennis, Spitty, Nico, they're all falling, and it's Devil right at the helm of this ship, and EnVyUs have done it! The Gfinity Invitational champions once more. And my God, did they need a victory, Metuz. They have been desperate for this, not to prove to others, but to themselves.
It's been since January, I think, the last time they won an event. It's been a very long time coming, but finally they take it, and in style. The 3-0. It took them overtime on Cash, very one-sided cobblestone, and now Dust2 16-14. Mouse will be gutted.
Yeah, heartbreaking for these boys, but it's all deserved for EnVyUs giving us a great display of CSGO. Give it up for them, guys.